Konnichiwa! Today, I'm back training at the park, but I wanted to update you on my Japanese studies. 2 years in, am I fluent in Japanese yet? We'll find out today. Sadly, I'm not able to film this video in Japan. We kind of wanted to do our annual Japan trip, but it didn't work out. But we did go to a Japanese festival to kind of, you know, miss Japan. Look at this, guys, this is interesting. I never heard about this show, but it looks great. I am at a Japanese festival in Frankfurt with Emily and my mom, who has a bad hair day. Still looks pretty good. You're doing all right. Actually, Emily has a bad hair day too.
What?
You said that this morning. That was your words, not mine. I'm sorry, your hair looks beautiful. I've never seen you with a bad hair day in your entire life. That's not true. So what have I accomplished so far? I spent the first 2-3 weeks of my learning journey doing the basic Japanese vocabulary, the hiragana, the katakana. That went pretty smoothly. New life goal, learn Japanese. Step 1, the alphabet. Step 2, tell everybody about it, so I feel super awkward if I stop working on it.
Salary, but rather own a company. Writing all these letters to my fans, so I feel like they are family. I love them, that's forever, and I do this till I RIP. Things change, but the memories don't.
Bonjour. And then I tackled Kanji, which are 2,200 symbols that you have to memorize, and that took me a year, doing like probably like an hour a day to do like 10 new symbols a day. That was really hard because you're not really learning to speak or to understand Japanese, but nonetheless I was still watching raw Japanese shows and anime and YouTube videos on the side. A year was also spent just working through Japanese grammar. I went through a basic Japanese grammar guide and I learned all the example sentences, and that took me another year. And lately I've just been watching Japanese content and I've been learning words from watching Japanese content. So I could be watching anime, or I could be reading manga, or just any Japanese TV show, drama, magazine, or book. Basically anything Japanese that's not dumbed down for learners, but it's made by Japanese people for Japanese people, real Japanese. And when I watch that, I look for sentences in which there's only one word that I don't understand, and then I put that sentence into a spaced repetition app, basically a flashcard app that helps you memorize, showing you cards at the right time, the right day. And yeah, spend every day doing some reviews in the app, do some new sentences, and then the rest of the time I just watch Japanese to immerse myself in the language, basically simulate as if I was in Japan around Japanese people. And usually I get at least an hour, sometimes 2 hours a day of just doing Japanese stuff. Look guys, it's Goku. This is very dangerous. This should not be sold anywhere. I can't believe this. Irresponsible. So as of now, I understand pretty much 2,500 Japanese words. Sounds like a lot, 2,500 words. I should be fluent in Japanese by now, right? No, that is not the case. The average 4-year-old knows 5,000 words. So I'm probably about at the stage of like a 3-year-old right now, which is really maybe even worse. You really, surprisingly, I was very surprised, you don't understand much Japanese with 2,500 words. You might understand like 80% of a sentence because we use the same words a lot, but usually the most important part of the sentence is in that 20%. That's what's actually talked about, and the other common words just describe that thing. So it's actually really frustrating to know that much but understand so little.
Just hurry. Yeah.
Is it bad that I kind of want this? This booth right here creates custom ramen t-shirts. So you choose your ingredients and then they put it together in a custom print and they put it on a t-shirt or a bag. Kind of weird, but also kind of a cool idea. What do you think?
It's so cool. It's
Right?
a good idea.
You can do bento boxes too. I want that right now. So the good news is right now all the words I learn are actually really common and really useful. Usually I'll learn a new word and then the same or at least the next day I'm gonna watch an anime and I'm gonna encounter that word in the anime and it will be such a rewarding feeling. The bad news is the longer I keep going, the less useful words that I learn will become, the more rare the words will be, and the less reward I will get from putting in the same effort of learning that word. There's also an additional handicap because I'm learning Japanese. I already know German and English, and Japanese is very different. If you learn a European language, you have that added benefit that the more complicated, the more sophisticated the language gets, the more similar it is. So, for example, in English, it's biology. In German, it's Biologie. It's university, it's Universität. So all the words, the more complicated the language gets, the more similar they become. So if you learn those most common words that are different, then usually that's enough and you can figure out the rest a lot more effortlessly than you can in Japanese, where those words just become more and more different. That all being said, the goal right now seems to be 10,000 words. That seems to be about the sweet spot where you really get fluent, which is about the vocabulary that an 8-year-old will have. This was kind of a rough realization because when I got into learning Japanese, I thought, man, maybe I'll put in a year or two and then I'll be at a really nice spot where it'll be kind of like smooth sailing and I can pick up language a lot more easy just by doing things in Japanese. And a lot of the language learning websites and programs, they will kind of pretend that you can get pretty good pretty quickly, and sorry, that's just not true. Yes, you can learn some like phrases and have some fun in the language pretty quickly and get a nice compliment from a Japanese person by saying a few words or doing an introduction. But to really have a conversation that's interesting, man, that is seriously difficult. We're gonna do one walk through the food area and then we're gonna decide what we're gonna eat. We have mini okonomiyaki, Japanese pancakes. Ooh, how do I eat this? It's nice. What do you think? How good is my speaking ability? To be honest, I don't know. I haven't spoken to anybody in Japanese, and there's some benefits to that when it comes to language learning, because if you start speaking early, mistakes you make will very likely be difficult to unlearn, and it's very difficult to tell when you make mistakes in the beginning because your ear is not fine-tuned to the language yet, so you might be making mistakes that you don't even hear yourself. So it's really hard to self-correct, and by the time you understand those mistakes, they're a habit already. So there's a lot of benefits. It's arguably less fun, but there's a lot of benefits from delaying your speaking practice. So I'm still waiting. I feel like I'll probably want to start and have fun with it when I go back to Japan the next time. But for now, I'm really enjoying myself, just getting better at understanding. Yeah, it's really nice. I feel like I finally hit like a really sweet spot where I'm having a lot of fun. I'm very glad about that because, to be honest, the last 2 years, it's not really been a fun thing to do because it's just been like grinding. The progress is slow and it's not really rewarding. I'm sure if I could put in like 6 to 8 hours a day, I would be amazing after a year or two and it would become fun a lot quicker. Unfortunately, I don't have that time, but I'm still making progress, and finally now I'm at a spot where I'm enjoying myself. And I've built a habit and I'm confident that I'm gonna keep going and eventually I'm gonna be good. Give me another 2-3 years, we're gonna see. But so far I'm having fun now, and yeah, it's going. All right, that's it from your Japanese 2-year-old. Thank you for watching. Arigato, and I'll see you when I can speak like an 8-year-old. I'll probably do a video before about language stuff. I'm really getting into it. But that's it for today. Bye.